Now at 11, connecting the dots to a string of burglaries. The charges a suspect now faces for allegedly breaking into several businesses. Plus, making up lost days. Portland Public Schools takes another step to get back instruction time. But first, multi-million-dollar budget cuts. Details on the two Southwest Washington school districts putting positions on the chopping block. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon, in for David tonight. For the third year in a row, Evergreen Public Schools in Vancouver is facing major budget cuts. Right now, they're looking at a nearly $20 million budget shortfall. Catherine Cook was at tonight's school board meeting where parents shared concerns with many of the cuts on the table. Catherine.
And Tim, maybe the biggest concern, a proposal to cut elementary school librarians. This after the district cut librarians from middle and high schools last year. And it doesn't end there. At Evergreen Public Schools headquarters Tuesday night, music was on many parents' minds. And not just because of these Harmony Elementary School voices, but because of what the district might lose. Fifth grade orchestra is one of several items on the chopping block as the district braces for a $20 million budget shortfall. One fifth grader named Maddie asked the school board to keep orchestra and elementary school librarians whose jobs are also threatened.
Orchestra has brought on my love for music. Librarians have had so much of an impact on students. They make them love reading. This will lead them to success when they have a job, because no matter what job they will have, they're going to need to read.
The thought of losing elementary school librarians has dozens of parents at a loss, especially after the district cut librarians at middle and high schools last year.
These are the kids that still have the imagination, they still believe in the magic, and to have librarians taken away from them who can no longer show them and inspire them through books is devastating.
This is the third year in a row Evergreen is facing a $20 million budget cut.
And next year looks a lot more promising.
Superintendent John Boyd also reminded parents he volunteered to take a $25,000 salary reduction and that they're still looking at all possible cuts.
The surveys, the community meetings, the outreach with the advisory groups have all been important for us to listen to while continuing to focus on our goals of our strategic plan and the necessity of balancing our budget.
For some parents like Megan Taylor, that's not enough. As district enrollment dwindles, she's thinking about leaving as well.
100%, to the point that my son has been sad, and it's going to make me cry, thinking that we may put him into a private school because I'm not going to continue to invest all my time and energy into the school district that is not investing in our students.
Also on the chopping block, security. The district may reduce middle school security personnel from 3 per school down to 1. And some paraeducators and intervention specialists may also get cut. Teachers who help students with special learning needs.
Please help us. Go back and look at the drawing board. See some other areas that you can cut above literacy in a school district. Thank you.
The district is also looking to cut 30 positions in the district office to save $3.5 million. The school board will take the next 2 weeks to consider everything on the table and return to vote on March 26th. Tim.
It's a lot again, Catherine, thanks. And Vancouver Public Schools voted to cut its budget by $35 million next school year. The school board unanimously approved the cuts today. Now, the resolution aims to cut about 261 positions, which would include 50 elementary and 63 secondary teachers, along with a number of counselors, librarians, and maintenance workers. On the other side of the Columbia, Portland Public School Board members voted tonight on a plan to make up lost instructional time after the teachers' strike last fall and severe weather in January. Alma McCarty listened in and joins us with the board's decision. Alma?
Well, Tim, Oregon law requires students to have between 900 and 966 hours of instructional time minimum, depending on the grade. But a number of things so far this year disrupted this instructional time, compelling the district to come up with with a makeup plan. Before snow and ice hit Portland mid-January, PPS leaders already added several days to the calendar due to the teachers' strike. But after that winter storm, kindergarten was short 17 hours and seniors in high school short 24. Initially, for kindergarten specifically, the board was planning to cut 15 minutes of recess for 20 days in April. But a few members raised concerns.
My mom was a preschool and kindergartner teacher, and play is actually so essential to their overall learning. I actually would be in favor of us just straight up violating the Division 22 guidelines this year and saying, you know what, it is more important for our kindergartners to get.
All in favor, please indicate by saying
So tonight,
yes.
board members passed an amendment first calling for PPS makeup plans not to impact recess. Then, under the amended resolution, which passed after a 5-to-1 vote, the district will ask the state to waive 14 hours of missed instructional time due to emergency school closures. Now, as for seniors, the district's made the SAT day a full day and will add 1 day, May 31st, to the senior calendar. These moves, all part of the resolution, gets everyone close to or right at the state's requirements. Tim?
A lot of information. Thanks for explaining it, Alma. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. A woman died this afternoon after police say her car went into the Clackamas River at Clackamas Park in Oregon City. They're still trying to determine what happened, but a witness said the car went down the boat ramp and into the water and submerged. Police say the woman was inside the car for about an hour before she was pulled out. Then crews spent most of the afternoon trying to pull her SUV from the river. Just after 4:30 this afternoon, they were able to get it up onto the shore. A suspected serial burglar has been indicted after being connected to thefts from several Gresham and Portland businesses. He's been identified as Adam Johnson. Now, this is surveillance video from 2 stores where Johnson allegedly broke in and stole thousands of dollars worth of items. Gresham police say at least 5 stores were burglarized between October 14th and 30th of last year. He now faces 17 charges, including burglary, theft, and possession of a stolen vehicle. And the New York Times is reporting that Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 had been scheduled to be taken out of service for maintenance when the door plug blew out over Portland in January. The day before the incident, Alaska engineers and technicians were reportedly so concerned about the pressure leak issue that they wanted to sideline the Boeing 737 MAX 9 to check it out. However, Alaska decided to push this back until after it completed its next 3 flights, when it was to return to the PDX maintenance facility. The door plug blew out on the second of those 3 flights. We also learned that federal auditors found dozens of problems on Boeing's production line for the 737 MAX jet. And tonight we're getting closer to a rematch between President Joe Biden and former President Trump for this year's presidential election. Both men clinching enough delegates tonight to secure their nominations. Today it was Washington's turn for its primary. Here's a look at the percentages so far. President Biden gaining 86% of the vote in Washington, followed by Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson. On the Republican side, former President Trump is at about 74%. The other candidates have already dropped out, but Nikki Haley still managed to get 22% of Washington voters. And a quick reminder now, Oregon's primary is not until May 21st, but today was the deadline for anyone who wants to run for office in Oregon to apply to become a candidate. The next date on the local election calendar is April 30th. That's the voter registration deadline in Oregon. Well, hopefully we'll start seeing cleaner highways around Portland soon. That's because Oregon lawmakers passed a $20 million spending bill last Thursday to help pay for a cleanup. And tonight we're getting a glimpse into how the dollars may be split, which includes cleaning up homeless camps, graffiti, and trash. Casey Davey with the Oregon Department of Transportation told us funds will be used to hire contractors to help their maintenance crews out. $4 million each will go toward cleaning up graffiti along I-405, 205, and 84, along with clearing trash and homeless camps along roadways. Another $8 million will be used for preventative measures like fencing and barricades and lighting to encourage folks not to park and camp in unsafe places. She says this funding will allow them to triple the amount of work that can be done to ensure that roadways stay clear.
And we're able to partner with contractors and with the city. So we have not only our maintenance crews, but we have a lot of other folks, a lot of more bodies that we're able to put towards this work. So I think it should go a long ways. You should see a bigger impact than you have in the past when we try to do this piece by piece.
But not everyone is on board with this funding. Oregon Representative Travis Nelson, who represents North and Northeast Portland, took to social media to voice his opposition, saying, quote, "I withdrew my support for this funding when neither ODOT or the city of Portland could assure me that this cleanup would last," adding he has serious doubts about whether taxpayer dollars will be used effectively. Now, if Governor Kotek signs the bill soon, ODOT hopes to start these cleanups no later than the beginning of April. You're watching KGW News at 11. Still ahead, healthcare providers may be losing thousands of dollars a day after a cyber attack. The impact it's having on medical staff across Oregon. And a Beaverton native has her eye on the WNBA. Meet the Stanford player looking to go pro.
I'm Matt Safino. We certainly had showers today, but boy, have they ever dropped away. Great sunset already at the Oregon coast, and that was just today. Even warmer weather on the way Thursday, but it will be a chilly start. We'll talk about that frosty morning, those warm afternoons.